her silk robe, and practiced the smile she imagined wealthy women gave to their five-star butlers. She had never done this before, never actually hired one. But after the kind of week she'd had, the divorce papers finalized, the endless spreadsheets at work, the wine glass that cracked right in her hand, she told herself she deserved this. A touch of luxury. Someone to smooth out the chaos. She opened the door. And blinked. On her porch stood a man in a wrinkled white shirt, no jacket, hair that clearly hadn't seen a comb in days. He was holding a harmonica in one hand and the tiny hand of a barefoot little girl in the other. "Evenin'," he said awkwardly. Butler service?" Claire almost laughed. Almost slammed the door too. But the little girl beat her to it, peeking from behind his leg, eyes wide and curious. "Daddy," she whispered, tugging at his shirt. "Is this the princess house?" The man flushed. "Sorry, ma'am. My cousin runs the agency. He said there was a last-minute slot. I could use the work. Been playing the harmonica at the park, but..." He stopped himself, biting his lip. Claire should have said no. She'd ordered polished shoes and silver trays, not calloused hands and a child with dirt smudges on her knees. But something in that little voice, "Princess House," hooked her heart. "Come in," she heard herself say. The first hour was a comedy of errors. He didn't know where the wine glasses were. He called her bath towels, fluffy curtains. The girl followed him everywhere, leaving tiny footprints on Claire's polished floor. At one point, he set down the harmonica on her marble counter and looked so out of place that Claire felt a pang of something she hadn't felt in months: sympathy. But then, unexpectedly, things began to shift. He offered to fix the cabinet door that had been loose for ages. He showed his daughter how to fold napkins into clumsy swans that somehow made Claire laugh for the first time all week. And when the girl asked for a story, he lifted the harmonica and played, not perfectly, but tenderly, like the music was carrying pieces of his soul. Claire sat very still, listening. Later, over tea, she learned his name was Jack. His wife had passed 2 years ago. The harmonica had been her gift to him, back when he worked construction and music was just a hobby. The little girl, Lily, was 5 and hated wearing shoes, no matter how many times he begged. "I know I'm not what you ordered," he said quietly, staring into his tea. "But I'll do whatever job you need. Just trying to keep us afloat." Something in Claire cracked open then, the kind of crack where light rushes in. She found herself on the floor with Lily, drawing pictures with crayons she hadn't touched in years. She watched Jack tighten the screws on her cabinet with a steady hand, humming soft notes between breaths. She realized the luxuries she had been searching for wasn't in polished silver or imported wines. It was right there, in the fragile, imperfect presence of people who cared. And when the night grew quiet, Lily asleep on the couch with her hands still clutching a crayon, Jack started to pack up his harmonica, embarrassed. "Wait," Claire said, her voice softer than she intended. He looked at her. She hesitated, then smiled. "The job isn't finished yet. Play one more song." And so, in a house that had felt too empty for too long, the sound of a harmonica filled the air, warm, imperfect, human. And for the first time, Claire thought maybe this was exactly what she'd ordered, after all.